Hey friends, it's Jess. Today I'm going to talk about the books that I am terrified to pick up. So as I was browsing YouTube this week, I saw a video. It's by Ashley Kaylee, and it was for her Bookmas videos, and one of her topics was the book she's terrified to pick up. And I thought that was such an interesting take on the books on her TBR. So I wanted to do that. It's a perfect fall, creepy time of year to do this video. So let's get into the books that I am terrified to pick up off of my shelves. So let me start with, these are not necessarily creepy books. So I don't buy creepy books. Every once in a while I will pick one up that's slightly creepy, and there might be one or two of those on this list. Some of them are just, it's a big commitment to pick up and start the series. So let's get into these books. So the first book is actually the start to a series, and I have actually read the first book in this series years ago. I had intentions to complete the series, to keep working through it over the next couple of years. And I believe, if I was looking back on the timeline correctly, this book I read just before we got the phone call for a 6-week-old baby boy who we actually adopted last year. He is almost 5 this coming year. So my husband and I both read the first book, and then life got crazy and we did not continue, and it has been on my radar to finish, but it's a little terrifying. And that is the Wheel of Time series. We both read The Eye of the World, I believe, the beginning of 2020. And in January of 2020 is we got the phone call for our baby boy, and the rest is history. Like I said, this was almost 5 years ago at this point. So I remember enjoying this. This is a series that my oldest brother, read many times growing up. He had all the books. This is actually his original hardback. He no longer wanted the hardback cover, so when I picked it up to read it, I grabbed his copy, and I have all the other hardbacks, I believe, at my dad's house. So this series, oh my goodness, I would say it wasn't difficult to get into. I really enjoyed the story, but it is a lot of books, and every book is a chunker. So it is definitely one that I want to get to. I want to read through this series, but I'm intimidated. I am so intimidated to pick this back up. But I'm thinking, I don't know, one of these series has got to get on my list for next year. Start fresh in January, and who knows? That's what I thought last time. Start this fresh in January. And then by the end of the month, we had a little baby. That's how foster care life goes. But that's on the list, but I'm intimidated. Okay, the next book, I have read several books by this author before, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the stories, but I have to be prepared for them. This has been on my list since it came out this year, and I'm scared to pick it up. I've heard good reviews about it. I know there is some, there's just a lot of hurt and pain to get ready for, and that is The Women by Kristen Hanna. Like I've said before on my channel, The Nightingale, I just picked that one up on a whim. I just picked it up thinking, oh, this looks like a good book. I've heard people talk about it. I was not prepared. This one, I know what I'm going to experience going into it, and that makes me want to put it off just a little bit, but I need to get this one. I hope January, again, I'm going to put all these books on January, and then life's going to happen. So here we are. Kristen Hanna, love her writing, highly recommend it. This one is a woman in the Vietnam War. I am very excited to pick it up, but very nervous. Very nervous. I know there's going to be a lot of feelings that go along with this book. So the next book is not necessarily one that is intimidating or scary. It is one that I'm nervous because it's an addition to an original trilogy. And a lot of times those books can be great, or they can just not be necessary. And if you've been watching my recent thrifting hauls, you will have seen this one. It is the Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, and this is definitely one I'm nervous. Do I even want to read it? It was a really good price, so I picked it up. I know my husband might be interested. I did get a couple comments on the last video saying they enjoyed it. So I'm hopeful, but I'm also really, really nervous. The Hunger Games trilogy, I enjoyed that kind of as it came out. So it's not about my favorite character. I don't know, but I hear really good things. I'm terrified, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick it up and see what it's about. I've had people on here recommend it to me, and I've also had students I see reading this and they recommend. They say it's a really good book. They enjoyed it, but we shall see. We shall see. So the next book I don't physically own. My husband has actually read the whole trilogy. I believe he got it from the library. We have the second and third book, but we don't own the first book. That is the Arc of the Sidethe series. It starts with Sidethe, and he absolutely loved it when he read that. And that was years ago that he picked that up. He said he thought I probably would like it. I struggle to read books with death, and if it's not a main part of the story, or it's not like, I'm okay with it. Like, it's life, and we're all gonna die at some point. But just having the whole story focused around it, I don't know, always kind of giving me kind of a creepy feeling, and I don't know, but I hear people rave about this series. So I need to pick it up. I need to pick it up. I need to be brave and just start it. We own the other two books. It would be easy for me to pick up if I can just get the first one from the library or find it used somewhere. But yeah, again, it's got me scared. It's got me scared. I may or may not enjoy it, and that's okay, but I do want to try it. When my husband recommends books to me, I really like to at least give them a chance and see what I think of them. I don't have to read the whole trilogy. Maybe just try the first one and see how I do with it. Okay, the next series. This is a beloved series, but I am intimidated. Like, even more so than Eye of the World, the Wheel of Time series. I don't know, but it's the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. I love Sanderson's writing. I enjoy his world building. He's just, I don't know how he does it, but he does. And by Brandon Sanderson, I've read the Mistborn trilogy. I have not done Mistborn Era 2. I have not finished that. Maybe I should start there, and then try Stormlight Archive. My husband has read the first book. We don't physically own it. He read it on Kindle, I believe. But it's one that it's on my list. I want to get to it, but it is a commitment. One of the books is a commitment. The whole series is a massive commitment, and that really, really scares me, intimidates me, but I can do it. I can do it. But I will probably pick either Wheel of Time or the Stormlight Archives to start next year. We shall see. We shall see. I don't want to read them at the same time. That would be too much. But I've already started the Wheel of Time. I don't know. Stormlight Archive terrifies me. I will get to it at some point. Probably not right now, though. So the last series that I want to talk about that terrifies me, these books aren't scary. They are just things that I have on my list, and they never seem to get picked up because there are shorter books that I pick up in the meantime. But I need to make these books more of a priority. In this series, I first heard about from Reagan from the Peruse Project years and years and years ago. She loves this author, loves this whole series, and I put it on my list to check out, and it's been there for a very long time. I don't think my husband has never read these books yet. He might be interested in them too. We'll see. But Robin Hobb, and starting with the Farseer trilogy, I have heard amazing things about it. I know some of Reagan's recommendations I really enjoy. Some of them were not the same ones, but I've also heard with other people who really love this series, like Chrissy from Chrissy's Purple Library absolutely loves this series, and soon it's got to be a priority. But it's like, where do you start with all these series? So that's it for the books. Oh, I had one more. The last book is actually one that might be more in the scary realm of books. And I'm not saying that I want to necessarily read this book. I can't remember. I'm not sure if my husband liked this one or not. We have a couple of them out there. But it's more the author I want to give a try and see my thoughts on his books, but it is Riley Sager. So the book that we own is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I'm not sure if this was one that he liked or not. I know he's read several of them through the library as well, so I will have to get his recommendation on that. But I do want to try a little bit of a creepier book to see where my threshold is, but this is not a nighttime book for me. This is a book I read when it's daytime and there's lots of like people around, and I don't know how I feel. But if you have a Riley Sager that you really liked and you would recommend to me, please put it down in the comments so I can know, have a little guidance on where to start. You have any other like mild-ish thriller? I think I want to try something. So this one or something from Riley Sager's on my list. I could maybe dip my toe into something different, but this is definitely one that is out of my comfort zone and it terrifies me. But sometimes it's good to step out of your comfort zone and see what else you might like. So, all right, friends, thank you so much if you made it to this point in the video. I am so thankful that you would spend some time with me today and all the days that you do. I appreciate you and I am so thankful for you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.